Day 41 of Lessons from My Mom's Camera, where we revisit videos that my mom recorded when she was still alive. She passed away in 2024 from lung cancer, and before that, she would record these challenges. Actually, not ouch! Wilfred! She would do these challenges. This is the first one. It's a 77-day cycle where she challenges herself to wake up early, take a walk before breakfast, coffee, and checking her phone. And she's also added a thought for the day for us beautiful souls to get a lesson from or a message from. And this is day 41. Let's check it out.
Good morning and welcome to day 41 in my second day of having both hands because my iPhone is stuck on my little pine tree. So good morning everyone. It's day 41 of my 77-day challenge. That is so awesome. It means it's 2 days after I've gotten to the midpoint. I am now getting closer to my goal of 77 days. And today is another special day because I don't know if this works to say that I woke up, got out and went for a walk, because actually I've been up since 4 this morning. I had an online meeting that ended at 11:30 last night. But then the usual, we hang around, we chatted. So kind of left at midnight, jumped into bed, took a 3-hour nap, embarrassing, and woke up in time for my 4 a.m. meeting. Now, who would do a 4 a.m. meeting? Well, crazy Toastmasters like me, and there are many of us. This 4 a.m. meeting is not really 4 a.m., it's 7 p.m. in the Philippines. But because the Philippines is on the opposite side of the world, here I am in Oregon. So for me, it was 4 a.m. But I'd made a promise that if they added online attendance, remote attendance to their meetings, I would attend. And I made that promise when I was in the Philippines. And it was easy because it was the same. I was at their same time zone. Well, here I am. So I'm keeping the promise. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, so I'd be kind of awake. So basically had 3 hours. And I know that's breaking my rule about having enough sleep, but there was a good reason for the exception. And it's also a perfect segue into today's quote, which is another unusual thing. It's 2 words. So what? And the source is Julie Kurdish. And if you're wondering, who is she? Is she an author? I haven't heard of her name before. Well, if you're a Toastmaster and you've been on Pathways, you probably heard about her. She is the guru, the doyen, as Graham would call her, of Pathways. 84 years old, young, 84 years young. She started stand-up comedy when she was 77 years old. And one of her other mantras, in addition to so what, is never too late, never too old, never too late. But let me tell you about the so what. So she told us a story during our online meeting about how she had some issues, her skin, there were some rashes, and she had all kinds of, some of parts of her skin were bleeding. But instead of worrying about that, she said, so what? And showed up at the meeting, and it was a great meeting with her presence. And she also shared about years before she had some issues with her dentures and all that. And same thing, she showed up and people loved her. And so what? And I keep on thinking, yeah, that is such a way of dealing with life. So what? So what? I mean, there's so many times in our lives when we're not ready, we don't feel so good, we don't feel like we're the best person in the room, we're not dressed right, we're not whatever. So what? And I remember something similar that I used to tell my kids when they were growing up, and they would say, oh, other classmates said this and said that. I used to tell, especially my girls, I used to say, well, just say so. And that would just stop them. Instead of fighting back, instead of trying to argue, give them a look and say so. Well, Julie's version is a little bit, one more word, so what? But whether it's so or so what? Right, so what? I know this is an unusual talk for the day, but this is an unusual morning and I have a good excuse. I've only had 3 hours of sleep. And if I'm sounding really incoherent, so or so what? So that's my food for thought for the day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm gonna head up the hill now thinking, so what? Great thought for the day. See you tomorrow.
My mom did it again with her cutie. We're matching today. Her pink band and her pink top. I love it. And oh, she's changing up her, camera composition. I kind of like when it was handheld, but so what? Let's borrow that expression. Oh man, I was about to share the story about that. Let's start the timer. So for those of you who are new here, I also added my own personal challenge to this experience of watching my mom do her challenges, which is practicing impromptu speaking. So she's a Toastmaster, if you can't tell. And she's always wanted me to join Toastmaster, and I did, and then I kind of fizzled out. But we're practicing. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who went to school with very loose jeans because she had 2 older brothers, and it wasn't getting dressed or getting all dolled up wasn't really a big thing for her. She loved going to the river. She loved playing hide and seek with the older brothers, scaling up to the roof to stargaze. And this one day when she went to school, and the girls there started mumbling under their breath, oh, she looks like a carpenter with her outfit. What's that about? And of course, this little girl was kind of confused. Why are they snickering behind her back? What is it about? Is it about her? Is it about what she's wearing? Something that she's never thought of. It's never crossed her mind until that day. So she went home, asked her mom about it, and during the trip home, that's when she realized that they were making fun of her, and her heart sank and her morale dropped, and she felt so inadequate. And I guess that was the first time in her life that she started having a self-image, which was trapping her in that story of, do I not look acceptable to other people? And so she brought that up to her mom and said, Mom, there are kids in school that snickered about my pants. And these pants, actually, she loved it so much because it was her brother's, and her brother would actually help her get dressed in the morning and tuck her shirt properly in. Little did they know that was the story behind it. And then her mom said, so? When somebody says something that's inconsequential to your life, or it doesn't matter to you, does it really affect you? Did it really affect you, apart from now you're creating that story in your mind? Just say so. So. Those are one of the stories where that very tiny, short 2-letter word carried so much impact in my life. So. And protected me from a lot of things that I could have easily let affect me, or let oof, my brain right now. I could have easily let it affect me or let it lower my morale. And it's just really refreshing to hear her remind me of that story. And now it's so what? So what? It's so freeing. And today, actually, June 30, I am doing the other thing that I talked about yesterday, which is show up, or was it yesterday or the other day, which is show up for something that I've been meaning to do. Oh, I think it was 2 days ago, where she said, unless you start, you'll never arrive. This buildup of messages that she's been doing these past few days is exactly what I need. It's like this, it's a buildup from the other day. It's unless you start, you'll never arrive. And I was contemplating about, when would I ever start this project that I really want to do, which is, I don't know if you could see, just beside me is my guitar. Like really get comfortable at singing while playing the guitar. And then the next day, to agree to be it's okay to have a disagreement, but not be disagreeable. And it's just, a reminder for me to surrender to life. I know that context was mostly applied to social relationships, but for me, it's my relationship with life. Sometimes things aren't going to go your way, but you don't have to struggle with it. You can go with the flow and still think of creative ways to do the things that bring joy to your life, and not, concede to the suck. And right now, in fact, I feel like life is setting it up for me that everything is aligning. And now there's this last hurdle, which is the stories, the voices in my mind, which say things like, what are they gonna what are other people gonna think? Or what if nobody cares? What are you doing? What if nobody watches, or nobody? So, oh my gosh, it's so exhausting to listen to these voices. And I saw a video the other day about fear, and the person created this skit about fear, and she personified fear as this entity in our minds that actually want to be set free. And we're the ones creating this mental trap by not feeling it, by not embracing the fear and just acknowledging, like, hey, you know what, you're scared. Yes, failure is very possible. Judgment is very possible. You'll feel a certain way, but is that going to stop you? Are you going to let that stop you from living your life? And right now, just being equipped again with this beautiful gem that my mom shared today, which is, so what? So what? Even saying that word, try it. Say those 2 words. Watch what happens to your body when you say it, right? Doesn't it repel? Doesn't it have this repellent force? So what? Right? Interesting. I'll use that. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama, for today's message. 14 minutes. Oh, sorry. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow for day 42. Bye.